So there's a law which I think is called the law of Addy, which is software has no value until it's running in production. And then there's the law of Nygaard, which basically says all software these days is written to pass QA. So we have a conundrum, and I believe, and a lot of us believe, that this is because an artificial silo has been created by businesses these days between sysadmins and developers. We need to work together to get software out there properly, but generally pointy-head bosses and all the rest are structuring different cost centers, different silos. Quite a lot of the clients I work at these days, we'll have clients, we'll have developers in one city, we'll have business in another city, and the operations team in a third city, which just doesn't scale, and they wonder why they have trouble releasing software, and what software they do release is substandard. So there is a group of us, a lot of us here today actually, who are kind of getting involved in this DevOps kind of movement almost. We had our first conference in Belgium last month. It was awesome. And basically, we just want to encourage people to start working. If you're a developer and you don't know who your sysadmins are, go find out who your sysadmins are, speak to them, understand what happens, understand where your code's going to run. If you're a sysadmin and you don't know your devs, go and speak to your devs, find out about them, share knowledge, get things working together. That way, both of your lives will be made easier, the world will be a happier place, and then I won't have a reason to exist because my primary role at ThoughtWorks is to be an intermediary between developers and sysadmins. There's lots of examples of stuff we've done to improve the process, but I think you're probably the wrong audience. You probably understand what I'm talking about. So, any questions?
Are you doing another meetup conference, ScaleCamp?
Yes. So there is a track at KubeCon London, KubeCon London next year, DevOpsDays. It's a whole track at the conference focused on this subject. We are busy trying to organize a DevOpsDays next year in the States. Hopefully it's going to tack on to Velocity, so if you're going across the pond for Velocity, you've got no excuse not to come to DevOps as well. And
do I do one in Berlin?
Possibly. So tail end of next year, we're probably going to be doing a Europe one again. So yeah. So there is a mailing list on Google called Agile System Administration. If you're interested, get on that. There's also DevOpsDays.org. Go and have a look at that if you're interested. I want to find out what people are doing about it, what people have said about it, written about it, blogged about it, all the rest.
And if someone wants to have a London thing, you can put me around it.
Yes.
Yes.
So we try to do London things. Yes, actually, correct. Thanks, Ari. We're actually organising kind of early next year. We're going to hijack one of the ThoughtWorks Geek Nights at the ThoughtWorks offices. We're probably going to devote to the subject as well. So,
there's also a DevOpsDays IRC channel on Freenode.
Does anybody have any stories or comments on how they have resolved this problem?
So, I've got a blog post, which is one of them. So one of the issues at the clients I'm at the moment was start off the project, and we needed to find out from the development team what production looked like, what they used for package for deployment, because this is a key thing that you need in place to facilitate continuous deployment. It's the next stage on from continuous integration. If you want to do continuous integration properly, you have to have this relationship. If you want continuous deployment, this has to be a strong relationship. So one of the things we went in, and we needed to meet with the client operations team to find out what we did. So the guy I was working with at the time, who's now based in ThoughtWorks US, Graham Brooks, thank you. I always get Tackers and Brooks mixed up. But he suggested, why don't we do it in the retrospective format? So what we did is we went in and we said, all right, so talk to me about your current deployment process, your current go-live process, your current processes. Tell us what's good, what's bad, what are you confused about? And did a whole retrospective about how they do things now, and then address their primary concerns around things like they're always getting crap code from the developers, so they would rebuild the packages themselves. It's like, all right, so if we're actually building the packages and testing them and deploying them as part of the CI process, does that make that pain go away? Yes, it does. And so building that relationship as a retrospective and how you can do it with the team is one good way that I've done with it. The other way is to actually just go and implant myself a bit. A couple of clients have gone and spent 2 weeks sitting next to their sysadmins. My background is a sysadmin. I've been a dev before. I'm happy doing both. You know, that's another way to do it. Just go and implant yourself.
I'm totally in the way. I didn't mean this to happen.
No, it's
Camp
good. Yeah,
is
that's
free.
all right.
You are up